On the ballot this year are some big races. Today's voters decide who will face off for a spot in the U.S. Senate. Republicans look for a nominee to take on Governor Pritzker, and 4 open seats in Congress invited a flood of candidates and campaign cash. 5 on Your Side political editor Mark Maxwell is in studio to break down the races. Mark?
Yeah, the big board's all fired up. We're just waiting for those results to come in. We're just hours away from seeing those results of the only poll that matters. But let's take a look at those polls that we did see. In these statewide primary races, reliable polling has been somewhat scarce. A lot of partisan polls, a lot of those internal campaign polls, but very few independent, nonpartisan polling data so far. In fact, we have to go back to January, like the early part of January, to find an Emerson poll that showed Darren Bailey with 34%, Ted Dabrowski with 8%, James Mendrick, the sheriff, up there with just 5%. And in that same poll, let's see, a whopping 46% said they don't know. Now, have I seen the kind of ground game from any candidate in the last 2 months that would flip these numbers around completely? No, not really. We're going to wait and find out. The same pollster, though, in a different race, let's take a look at this Senate race, said that, we're going to change here to Raja Krishnamurthy. Let's see, he had 31% back in January. At that time, Juliana Stratton had just 10. Her numbers have gone up in some polls as high as 37 to 39% in some of those polls that we've seen. And Robin Kelly had just 8. She's climbed a little bit, but really, this is kind of a 2-person race if you consider it there. All right, we're going to watch one other race just here tonight to preview this, and we're going to tell you why locally you're going to want to watch this race here tonight. Daniel Biss, Kat Abugazala, Laura Fine. AIPAC has spent a ton of money and its affiliated donors and activist groups in this race trying to make sure that Kat Abugazala does not win. At first, they didn't like Daniel Biss. They were backing Laura Fine. Now they're more okay with him. We're going to see how close the Democratic primary voter is to that AIPAC influence because the Cori Bush-Wesley Bell rematch is up locally here in a few months. This could be a clue, an early indicator of where the Democratic Party and the electorate is going. We're going to watch that closely. Results here at 7 o'clock.